So, hello guys, you're welcome to another episode of BJ's Physics Classroom. Today's discussion is going to be centered on Kirchhoff's laws, and one of the questions that one of us sent in that we are going to deal with. So, what I'm going to do is I'll take you briefly through the Kirchhoff's laws before I roll the question on, and then we begin to look at it. So let's begin. So we look at the Kirchhoff's laws. Now Kirchhoff came up with two laws, and the first law states like this: at a junction in electrical network, the sum of currents entering the junction is equal to the sum of currents leaving the junction. I'm not quoting verbatim what is on the board, what is on the screen. That is another way that the law can be stated. How do we interpret this law? Let's consider this diagram. So at a junction in electrical network, the sum of currents entering, I is entering, is equal to the sum of currents leaving, I1 and I2 are leaving. The same thing applies to this diagram. So from these two diagrams, we get this equation, I equals I1 plus I2. That is, the sum of currents entering is equal to the sum of currents leaving. Good. So let's look at the second law. The second law states that in a closed loop of an electrical network, the algebraic sum of all the EMFs is equal to the algebraic sum of all the potential differences across the loads in the loop. So when we consider a loop like this is a closed loop. There is no key open in the loop. It's a closed loop. So when we consider a loop like this, what the law is saying is that the algebraic sum, please be careful. When you are stating this law, in a closed loop, that is a condition. If the loop is not closed, you can't apply the Kirchhoff's law. So that is a condition. Don't miss it. And then the algebraic sum means that sometimes the EMFs can be negative, sometimes they can be positive, based on the direction of flow of current. If you go against the direction of flow of current, if you choose the direction for a loop and your direction is against the direction of flow of current, then the current becomes negative and the EMF also becomes negative. Take note of that, please. So I have decided to go around the loop this way. So for that matter, the sum of EMFs in the loop, E1 plus E2, because I'm going around the loop this way, I'm not moving against the direction of any current. So the sum of EMFs in the loop is equal to the sum of potential differences. From the Ohm's law, I times R, that's the potential difference across R1. Then I2 times R2, that's the potential difference across R2. So E1 plus E2 is equal to I1 R1 plus I2 R2. That is how we apply the Kirchhoff's second law. So this is the question that was sent to us. The question is already on the Facebook page. It has been there for a long time. I was expecting, some people to come with solutions, but nobody's coming with solutions, and I've decided to answer the question. It's a past question, and I think on the paper, this is question 8, so there is question 9 and question 10. Question 9 and 10 are under electronics, so I'll find time and then deal with electronics as a topic. That one doesn't involve calculation, so there isn't much problem with it. I know that when you read it, you will forget, but I'll find time and deal with electronics as a topic for you so that you can have it. So let's look at how we solve this question. The question says that considering the electrical network below, use the Kirchhoff's rules to determine the current through the resistors. So we want to find all the current flowing through these resistors. We could have as well used the Ohm's law to solve this easily, but the question has restricted us to use the Kirchhoff's laws, so that's what we're going to use. So let's solve it. Let's consider the diagram. We pick a junction. The point marked green is a junction that we pick. And then we look at the direction of flow of current in the cell, from the cell. We said the cell will deliver current this way. So that current coming is I1. When the current gets to the junction, it will split. We will have I2. That current coming is I. At the junction, it will split and produce I1, I2, and I1. What that means, I will flow through 15, I1 will flow through 20, and I2 will flow through 12 ohms. So when we apply the Kirchhoff's first law to this junction, then we get this equation, I equals I1 plus I2, of course. You can see that. Then we use the second law. Now in the second law, we have to consider a loop. So let's pick the first loop. We pick this loop. The loop, let's call the loop A, B, C, F, J back to A. So when we consider loop, this loop, you can see as we go around the loop like this. There are two resistors in the loop, 15 ohms and 20 ohms. And the current flowing through this one, the 15 is I, the current flowing through the 20 is I1. So when we apply the Kirchhoff's second law to this particular loop, we get the equation 15 is equal to 9 is equal to 15I plus 20I1. Remember, the current is delivered this way. We didn't go against the direction of any current. So the EMF is positive. The currents are also positive. Good. Remember that we are dealing with three variables. An equation involving three variables, I1, and I2. So what that means, we need three simultaneous equations that we can solve. So we need to consider another loop to get the third equation. So we consider the next loop. When we consider this loop, and we decide to go around the loop this way, you see that we will move in the direction of I2, but we move against I1. What that means is that in applying the second law to this, we get this equation 0 because there is no EMF in the loop. 0 is equal to 12I2 minus 20I1. Minus 20I1. Because we are moving against the direction of I1, it becomes minus 20I1. Good. So now that we have our three equations, we can then begin to solve the three equations for the values of I1, and I2. So let's solve them. So we make I2 the subject in equation 1. Where is equation 1? This is equation 1. So we make I2 the subject in equation 3. Sorry, in equation 3. This is equation 3. So we try and make I2 the subject in equation 3. So this is equation 3. We make I2 the subject, and that gives us this. We carry this one across the equal sign. Then we divide through by 12. That will give us 5 over 3 I1. Then we call it equation 4. Then we substitute that equation 4 into equation 1. The equation 1 was the one we applied the Kirchhoff's first law. Remember that to form the equations, you need the Kirchhoff's first law compulsory and any other equation from the second law, any other two equations from the second law. So if you try to use the second law to form all the equations, you may have problems when you are solving it. Take note of that, please. So for that matter, we make Q1 the subject, and we substitute Q1 into, we make equation 4 the subject, and we substitute it into equation 1. What am I saying? Okay, sorry. We put equation 4 into equation 1. So this is equation 4. When we put it into equation 1, I equals I1 plus I2. Anywhere we see I2, we put this one. That gives us this one. Then, when we simplify it, that gives us I equals 8 over 3 I1. Let's call it equation 5. Then we put equation 5 into equation 2. The equation 2 was like this. So when we put this equation 5 into equation 2, we get this equation. Then we simplify it. 15 times 8 divided by 3. That will give us 40. That will give us 40. So we'll get 9 is equal to 40 I1 plus 20 I1. When we add this to this, that will give us 60 I1. Then when we make I1 the subject, we get the current flowing, the current I1 is given by 3 over 20 A, where A is ampere. That's the unit for current, ampere. 3 over 20 A. Good. Then we substitute this I we have found into equation 4 so that we can find I2. The I1 we have found into equation 4. So when we put it here and we solve, finally we get the I2 to be equal to 5/20 ampere. That is the current I2. Then we substitute I2 into equation 5. We substitute we substitute the same I1 into equation 5. Into equation 5, it gives us this. So that when we simplify this, we get the I to be equal to 2/5 ampere. Now when we add this equation to this equation, that gives us this one. If you like, try it and see. Thank you very much for subscribing to my channel, and then please share the video so that other people can also have access to what we are doing. Thank you very much. See you another time in another video. God bless you.